Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my Badass YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about 2022's top 10 accomplishments. Right now it's already January and the year of 2022 already passed. But I just wanted to talk about my 10 accomplishments before I forget. Number 10, I visited 4 World Heritage Sites. I was interested in World Heritages, and back then I was kind of reading about it. And I thought it would be nice to visit World Heritages because I can learn about history or culture of different places. Of course, it doesn't have to be UNESCO World Heritage Site, but since they have a list, I thought it would be kind of easier for me to make the list of places I wanted to go. So that's how it started. But this year, we took a family trip to Charlottesville, Virginia. So that's where Thomas Jefferson's house, Monticello, is and also University of Virginia. These two places are on the World UNESCO Heritage list as the place that Thomas Jefferson designed. That was great, but at the same time, I had mixed feeling about learning about Thomas Jefferson's 600 slaves and also about this one of the slave who had, I think, 4 children with Thomas Jefferson. I mean, they had really committed, or I don't know. Thomas Jefferson, he said after the wife passed, the explanation at Monticello said he really loved his wife and he remained single after the wife passed away. So I thought, oh, that's really nice. But then after that, I read Sally Hemings is one of the slaves, but she had 4 children with Thomas Jefferson. I was like, what is that? But what I mean by committed, it seems like she was the only person, and I don't know. I had this very difficult, complicated, mixed feeling after visiting Monticello. And then in the summer, when we took family trip to Korea, my husband and I visited Cheonmyo. That's the Confucian Temple in Seoul. That was nice. And then last December, we visited Panama, and we visited Panama Viejo. That's the original old town that the Spanish people built. Portobello, that's where the northern side of Panama, Caribbean seaside, or Atlantic Ocean side, when the Spanish kind of fortified the area from the attacks of pirates. Those 4 sites, I'm so grateful I was able to visit. And the next, number 9, is visited 9 national parks. Since I visited the Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, I fell in love with national parks. And in addition to UNESCO World Heritage Site, I decided, I want to visit as many American national parks. But I realized, hey, it doesn't have to be American. When I go visit Korea, I can visit Korean national parks. So this year I visited Korea twice, once in April and once in the summer. And I was able to go to Byeonsan Bando National Park and Soraksan National Park, Bukhansan National Park, and Hallyo Haesan National Park. So these 4 national parks, I hiked or I walked around, look at the ocean, beautiful view. And then another national park was Haleakala National Park on Maui Island in Hawaii. I actually wanted to go to that national park last year, but because of because we were having a family trip and budget wise and time wise, it was difficult to go to Maui last year. 2021, I couldn't go. This time in 2022, because I was traveling alone to run the Honolulu Marathon, I was able to just do whatever I wanted to do. So I booked a flight to Maui and a hotel and a rental car and a tour to see the sunrise from Haleakala National Park. Before I left, I checked the weather, and because it's island and because it's top of the mountain, always the weather forecast was like rain, 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 rain. And I was so worried, like, how will I be able to see the sunrise? But I was so lucky that morning. We did have some cloud, but when the sunrise was happening, we didn't have too much clouds. And then sunrise, so I was really happy and I thought I was lucky. And I kind of told myself, okay, I have good luck, so I can run better this year. Then after that, the latter half of the December, we went to Panama on a family trip. So in Panama, we went to Soberania National Park. That wasn't the main goal, but because I saw that there was national park and I just wanted to explore, so just casual hike. I think it was 20-30 minutes, and we took a walk and we found it's little but still like 5 consecutive falls, and it was so beautiful, so I was happy to see that. And then with my husband and stepson and son, we went to Metropolitan Natural Park. We were kind of hoping to see sloths and all the wild animals, but maybe we were too late because we started the hike at 10 a.m. If we were there earlier, maybe. But we couldn't see sloth, but we were able to see iguana, or I forgot the name of, like, it's kind of like a rodent, bigger rodent, and leaf cutting ants. I remember learning about that on the TV or a book, you know, the ants carrying all the big piece of leaves that they cut out. But we saw so many of them, and they too make a long line going all the way to their house, and then the entrance is big enough so that the big leaf can go through too. It's so amazing. You know, we saw 3 or 4 different groups on that day and different day, but it just made me keep watching because they're so amazing. So I enjoyed watching these different animals, insects, birds with my son. So those were the 7 national parks. And number 3, or best 8, is figuring out how to do things on my own in US. Tax on my own, not as a married and filing together, but married but filing separately. And in order to do that, I wanted to keep my books clear. So like working with my accountant, now it became part of the system. So now I do it regularly and I work with my bookkeeper. So it doesn't take too much energy now, but at the beginning, like not knowing what to do and you don't want to be illegal or doing it wrong, it was so stressful. But I'm glad I'm doing it good now. And then the next thing was Ken's birthday party in US. In 2021, I didn't have to worry about it because we had COVID, so we didn't even plan a birthday party. But this time I wanted to throw a party for him, and US birthday party is like big, right? Like, I mean, of course it depends on how big we want to make it, but not like just like small party. But I wanted to invite his friends and their family and have a big party. So since he liked going to pool, we booked outside the pool at our housing owners association, and we invited people and we had a big party. And he did say before Panama that was the best day of his life. So I'm so happy that it was memorable for him, but I still had to figure out everything. Like, I have no idea what to do, so that was tough. And green card, the green card I have is 2 years, but I need to apply again to get rid of that 2-year condition. So that one too, I had to read everything from scratch, do on my own, asking people to write letter of affidavit. It was so stressful, but I did it. So I'm really thankful I was able to complete. So these things, very stressful and energy draining, but being able to figure it out and do it on my own kind of gave me some confidence. And best 7 is invested in coaching. So I have right now ICF ACC coaching certificate, but since it's going to be expiring in next August, I thought rather than just extending ACC, I want to go one level up. So I decided to apply for PCC. In order to do that, I have to take a PCC program, and it's not cheap. It's a lot of money, but still I decided it's worth it. So I invested. I finished the coursework, and all I need is to graduate and apply for the PCC now. But before that, I need to finish some more steps. So I think that's going to be the first thing I want to do this year into 2023. But I'm glad I did it. And hour-wise, I have like official more than 500 hours of coaching. So I'm good to go. And number 6, best 6 is I took 3 business trips. Thanks to COVID number going down, many things going back to pre-COVID state, and business too. So many things are just 100% online, but nowadays some programs are coming back in person. So I was able to take one trip to Texas to do Japan-US intercultural training, and Illinois to give a workshop, and to Connecticut to do Korea-Germany intercultural training. Especially the Illinois, the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign trip was very meaningful because I was invited as a speaker. I'm really thankful for that. And I was allowed to bring my son with me. Of course, I paid for my son, but he was able to see me talking in front of people, and he said he liked it. And then also I show him where his older brother, my first son who passed away from brain cancer, I showed my second son, where my first son was born, where we lived, and the hospital and everywhere, like special places, and the places that my first son liked to visit. And so it was a great opportunity for me to tell him more about his older brother. So that was really nice. And best 5 accomplishment is I welcomed this Korean family for about 1 month to live with us in US. They are the ones who took care of my second son, who was barely like 2 years old when my first son got cancer, and I was a single mom who needed to travel or go to the hospital. And so they are the one who babysit them. And back then, because of the financial difficulty, I couldn't really pay them very well. I just paid really low amount. So this time I wanted to invite them, get the plane tickets and invite them, and then to show thanks, to do something that I couldn't do back then, but now I can do. So they have the same age, daughter who's same age as my son. So I also wanted the daughter to see the bigger world, get out of her own country and see something different, to know that there are so much more different things, than what we usually see. So they experienced Halloween, Thanksgiving, and a little bit of Christmassy atmosphere here in US. So I'm glad I was able to do that. And best 4 accomplishment is learning about neurodiversity, especially about Asperger's syndrome or autism spectrum. I learned about how the brain works or how their perspectives are, so that I can really understand how people on autism spectrum think and view. Because if I don't understand, sometimes I can interpret it in a different way. It's same, I thought it was pretty much same as intercultural training. You were able to, although it's different from your way of looking or your way of doing things, you can still put your perspective from theirs and try to at least understand that they don't have bad intention or they have good intention, so that I don't interpret in my own way and get hurt or get angry or something. So it helped me so much, and the last quarter of 2022, I think it made my life so much easier than before. For so many years that I didn't understand and I was having a hard time, but now I can manage the misunderstanding or sometimes seems like a too strong or too cold kind of behavior. Now I can understand. So it was life-changing experience. And then best 3 accomplishment is celebrating my husband's retirement after serving for the US Army for 30 years. And it happened in the summer, but his parents came and siblings came and nieces, nephew. So it was a great moment to get together as a big family and celebrate all together. So that experience was very amazing, and I'm really thankful that he had such a successful career, and 30-year commitment is such a big thing. So I'm really proud of his accomplishment. And then as part of celebration, we took the Panama trip in December to visit his very first duty station, which was Panama. So it was to kind of complete the cycle of his career. So it was very memorable. And number 2 accomplishment, second best accomplishment was conquer double mastectomy. In April, I had double mastectomy surgery. At the beginning, we didn't have any cancer, but something called LCIS. And rather than worrying about it, I thought it would be better to just take everything out and then put the fake one in to prevent. But the good thing was, after examining the tissues that they took out, they found little 1.5 millimeter cancer. So I'm like, whoa, I'm glad I made that decision to take these out. So that's the biggest accomplishment, because I had to recover. Recovery was so hard. My doctor told me, in order to be able to run or work out, you will need 6 weeks. 6 weeks? That sounds so long, but that was so true. I couldn't move, walk, do anything for 6 weeks. But I'm glad that after that, I started going back to my workout routine, and then now I feel totally normal. So I'm really glad that I was able to conquer my double mastectomy. And the last one is, as the symbol of conquering my double mastectomy, I ran Honolulu Marathon for the second time, and I finished 16 minutes faster than last year. At the end of double mastectomy, I was feeling like there's no way that I want to run, or no way, I can run half marathon. But around September-ish, maybe I can run. Maybe it sounds more badassy if I say I'm running because I had double mastectomy, not I cannot run because I had double mastectomy. I thought it would be so much cooler and badassery to say, yeah, I had double mastectomy, so I'm gonna run as a cancer survivor. So I tried, and I did, and I was better. So I'm so glad that I did it, and that's the number 1 accomplishment for me for the year 2022. So what was your accomplishments or achievements, or something that you're happy about that happened in 2022? So thank you so much for coming to my Badass YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.